When studying ecology, it's very common to come across ecological pyramids. These are diagrams that help show various relationships between the different trophic levels within a particular community. There's three kinds of ecological pyramids you'll typically see. One is called a pyramid of biomass. Biomass is the total weight of organisms at a particular trophic level. Like if I got in a square meter all of the producers, so grass and bushes or whatever, and I put them on a scale, how much would they weigh? That's their biomass. And if I got all the mice in that same area, they're eating the grass, so they would be the primary consumers. If I got them on a scale, how much would they weigh, and so on and so forth. A pyramid of numbers is what it sounds like. You count the number of producers in a particular area, like 1, 2, 3, many. Pyramid of production is sometimes called an energy pyramid or sometimes a pyramid of productivity. And what that shows is how much energy is available at each level in the community. Let's take a look at a pyramid of biomass. And here's a typical kind of pyramid you may see. So in this pyramid, there's say 900 grams of producers in every square meter. So a meter by meter square region of say your backyard. If you counted up all of the primary consumers, the things that are feeding on the producers, there might be 120 grams per square meter. If you then measured the number of secondary consumers, the things that are eating those guys, you might find 10 grams per meter squared. And then at the top of this particular ecological pyramid are tertiary consumers. You may only have 1.2 grams per square meter. Now, you may see these numbers inverted sometimes, especially in aquatic environments. For example, if you have near the outlet of the River Thames, if you did a biomass of the phytoplankton, the algae that are producing all the food in that area, you'll actually have less biomass of producers in that kind of environment as opposed to the zooplankton, the little microscopic creatures that are eating that. Why is that? That's because those phytoplankton, especially with all the stuff that's coming out of the Thames, they're reproducing so quickly they don't live very long. And so there's not a whole lot of them at any one moment. So the phytoplankton, however, are much slower to reproduce. And so if you take a quick snapshot, you might find fewer phytoplankton by gram per cubic meter, in that case, since it's an aquatic environment, than you would have of your primary consumers. So that can create a difference in some cases. You'll often see weirdnesses in pyramids of numbers, but that's because, say in this one, you only see one producer, and you may be thinking, how is this one producer keeping over 350 other creatures alive? Well, what if it's a tree and these are bugs on it, and then these are birds eating the bugs on the tree, and that's the one snake that is eating the birds? Oh, okay. Whereas if we did, say, an aquatic environment, and we're counting the number of algae in an area, then you're talking about a huge base with much smaller numbers on top, especially if it's like algae being eaten by a humpback whale. Then you're going to have a huge number of algae and maybe one humpback whale. The pyramid of production, the ones that's showing the amount of energy that's at each level, there you'll almost invariably have the stereotypical triangle going up like this. And this bottom level here, the 1 million joules, that represents the sun. So the sun is producing a bucket load of energy in a particular area, but the producers may be at best trapped maybe 1% of the energy that's available. Well, why is that? Plants can't take advantage of most of the energy given off by the sun, the cosmic radiation, etc. At the next level, there's typically, on average, somewhere between 5 to 20% energy efficiency as you go up the pyramid. So a good rule of thumb is just estimate roughly 10%. And so you'll see this 10% drop as you go up in the ecological pyramid. So these are what you're talking about in the ecological pyramids.